Hello everyone, Hosen here. Just going back to do another character update for you guys, show you what I've picked up in between sessions. This one will probably be relatively short. I don't have a whole lot to talk about right now, but let's get started. So in between the sessions I have continued to do my side training, and Julius himself has just been kind of hanging out on the side besides doing that. Kind of seeing if any other of the characters are gonna come up to him and discuss things that they've been doing. I think it was Kyler's character, Gunner, right? Yeah, Gunner. Gunner had came up to me in the prior session asking me, or asked me if he can use like my profit factor stuff, and that led to some other discussions and stuff. So I was kind of just kicking back this in-between session as well, or this in-between stuff as well. I was just kind of kicking back, seeing if anyone else is going to come up to me, see if they, ask me stuff, but that doesn't seem like anyone did, which is fine. So I continued to do my side training, and other than that, there's not a whole lot that really happened on my downtime. Let's go over my stat changes. I did get a fate point, and I'm not going to tell you guys why, but I did get another fate point. I have increased my willpower. It's gone up by a little bit, and everything else is kind of the same, I think. Same armor, same all this stuff. I think I picked up interrogation, command, and scrutiny, and citations, which I've actually, during my side training, have got it to change. So I don't actually have it perception governed anymore. It's actually willpower governed. And what happened is my character was talking to the person who was training me. I was expressing my guy's inability to perceive the warp, to see it physically, and then, I guess, decode it, understand it, which is my character's low perception. And I expressed to him, I asked him if there was a way that I could see the warp with my mind, like kind of have like a blind sense to it, kind of like a blind man. Like I can't see the warp, but I still can feel it. Like I can feel the ripples, and with the ripples I can make out like what's going on and stuff. It's like, I guess like an example would be like if I was looking into the warp and I was using perception, I might be able to like see a great unclean one, or like I might be able to see a demon. We'll say like a great unclean one. But I think with how I have it set up now, if I do this and I look into the warp, it's not going to be like you see a great unclean one. It's going to be like you sense the presence of like rotting flesh, something like that. Because I can't actually see. I have like a blind sense to it, basically. So that's a big character change I've had. I do have a -10 on it though, on the roll. So, which still isn't too bad, because I'm still rolling at a 45 check instead of a 30. So it's still a lot higher. It's not that big of a deal. I will fix the -10 and eventually get it to a +20. So it's just a temporary kind of thing. But even still, it's a big buff to my character, and I'm really thankful that Mal will let me do it. Now let's go down and see what else I have. I did pick up 2 psi powers and some more psi stuff. I think this is all new. And I did pick up the willpower rank 3, which put me at the 55. No XP left to spend. So here's all my minor powers. And the first school that I picked up is divination. I do plan to pick up telepathy and telekinesis. So I'm going to be a pretty mystic person. As for minor powers, I still have 3 that I need to pick up. I should have them picked before tomorrow. I really should have them picked before tomorrow. Not too sure what I want to get per se. I'm still kind of batting around ideas and stuff. Anyways, so divination, I did pick up divine shot, which is a very, very powerful power, I believe anyways. What it does is basically it's a free action to manifest the power, and when I do it, I think it's like before the end of my turn, if I shoot my gun, I can't miss, and like he can't dodge, like I just automatically hit my target. And what's even more ridiculous about it is it doesn't take into consideration of distance. So like, as long as I can see my target, I can hit him, which is pretty crazy. So precognitive dodge is pretty neat too. It's another free action power manifestation, which I use basically in conjunction with a reaction. And what it does is I manifest the power. If I succeed, I get plus 30 on my dodge. So that's kind of cool. It's only for like one round or like one dodge, I think. If I want to dodge it, if I want to get that plus 30, I got to do it again and stuff. It's not that big of a deal. And I do have another power I'm going to pick up. I was originally going to go with Farsight, and Farsight allows me to basically see things way off in the distance. I was going to combine that a little bit with Divine Shot, maybe. I don't know. But it also allows me to like see into buildings or see into rooms and things like that. So it's pretty good power. Regardless if I get it now, I'm definitely going to be picking it up. But since I do have my Cynetians test over at a willpower now instead of perception, I may pick up other things right now, like personal augury, or there's another one. The name is slipping my mind right now, but what the other power does is I can basically walk into a room, and this room could be like, it could be like a murder scene, and what I can do is I can find warp residue or like areas in the warp that hold like history, I guess, and I can make Cynetians tests to kind of like find out what happened. So it's kind of like I can read the warp to figure out what happened. I can read past residues or past event kind of things, sorta. But that takes a Cynetians test, which prior to me getting it switched over to willpower was not the best thing to try to make out of 30. So, but now that that's governed by my willpower, I might pick it up. Personal augury was the other power kind of looking at, and personal augury allows me to ask a question, or it allows somebody to ask me a question, and then I kind of like meditate on it for about 10 minutes, and depending on how well I rolled my test, and how well I have to roll like a power manifestation. Then once it's done after 10 minutes, I have to roll a Cynetians test, and then it will tell me like answers to the question. Like my question could be something like, it has to be kind of specific, but it could be something like an example in the book is, how can I please my Inquisitor? Then I would meditate on it for 10 minutes, then make a Cynetians test, and then depending on how well I did on my Cynetians test, it could be something really vague like do well in his mission, I guess, or it could be something like really specific, like I don't know what it would be. I got the DM in this, but it depending on how well I rolled in the Cynetians. So I do need to pick up some other stuff here, and I still have all my same gear. None of this has really changed, but I think that actually kind of ends my character update. I don't really have too much more to report. I guess as characters and stuff kind of on this downtime, we are finding out more about Scintilla, though some of it's like metagame stuff, I guess. And some players have been doing some like really weird shit with each other and stuff. I was actually kind of hoping that Gunner was gonna confront me, because I guess I could say this stuff because like we're getting out of this anyways. I don't think any other players watch this. They better not. If I find out any other you guys watch stuff, but like I'd heard metagame from Mal, I guess, that like Kyler and Mega Man have been doing some funky negotiations between each other, and it kind of sounds like Mega Man's trying to pull one over on Kyler, and he's asking for something really, really random. So I was kind of hoping that Kyler would come up to me and be like, hey, help me deal with Mega Man, because like Kyler came to me earlier in between sessions, and he was asking to use my profit factor because he was trying to secure some supplies. I don't know if I said this in the last character update. If I did, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but he came up to me asking to use my profit factor, and I was asking, I was kind of like, well, and like who I wanted to find out who he's dealing with and stuff, and he was like, well, I could just lie to you and you'd never find out who I'm dealing with. I'm like, I don't know about that. I mean, there's ways I could find out, man. But anyways, I don't think he lied to me. He did give me a person's name, and I was able to do a background check. I have a special contact, which I'll remain hidden for the most part. I do have a special contact. I was able to get information about who he was talking to about. So I was kind of hoping that Kyler was going to remember that a little bit, and then come back to me later, like during this in between, and be like, hey, Hunter, which is Mega Man's character, is kind of pulling my leg and asking for some really weird shit. So can you kind of help me out? And I would have been like, yeah, let's find out what he's up to or something, But no, I didn't do much with the other characters during this downtime. But anyways, it kind of ends my character stuff. The last thing I do want to talk about, though, is I've noticed that my staticiness is coming back in my videos on last session, and I do know that there's like an echo present, and that's because I have all the volume coming through my speakers, so it kind of like replays on you guys. Next session I'm going to try to set it up to where instead of coming through my speakers, it's just going to come through my headphones, and I'll just wear my headphones like normal. So hopefully next session tomorrow should have no echo and hopefully no static. The static kind of comes when I guess get excited, or my voice just raises too much and it just overloads, I guess, and it's fucking gay. It's fucking lame. But don't say I don't ever do anything for you guys. So I don't know. But I'm gonna try to fix it, and hopefully next session should be a rather enjoyable one for you guys. But I will see you then, and thanks for joining in with my character update. Yeah. I'll see you guys later.